Baby, yo, come and sit down and shut the door. We gotta talk. Y'all, if you guys don't know, people are saying that Diddy's arrest is imminent. By people, I mean me. Baby, I already give the timeline. Go watch my old live. But we got something more important to talk about. We are talking about the way Diddy is looking at more than just blank trafficking, more than just illicit drug trafficking, more than just any type of something with the DEA, moving bangs, all that stuff. Yes. We know that stuff has been talked about indiscriminately, but what's the one thing nobody's talking about? And what's the one thing that can prove why everybody and what looks like Diddy's collection of idiots are standing by this man? Because people are saying that the people you see standing next to Diddy are helping covering up very complex layering. If these accusations are true, tax evasion and money laundering, y'all sit down, we gotta talk. And it looks like Stevie J, Young Miami, and all these other people, if these rumors can be believed, that's why they standing by Diddy. Because, baby, they will have to go down with their shit. Y'all, come and sit there. I will be going live later to talk about the Jonathan Audi stuff. I didn't forget. No, we gotta talk about what's going on with Diddy and his collection of fools. Why is it? Now, listen, if you hear from me, I found it odd that after Diddy's house got raided, when the feds were looking like it was Call of Duty 4, kicking the door, waving the 4-4, right? And I thought it was odd that it was a lot of force, okay? But let's all not forget that when you do raids, you have to go in front of a federal judge. You have to get a warrant for the raid. You also need to show a budget. You can't just be doing Call of Duty for like every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Because the judge is like, okay, why do you need 6 tanks? Why do you need 300 people? Like, what's going on? Come on. Like, right? There is a budget for everything. So the fact that Diddy's lawyers were saying this was a military grade operation, even though they were trying to claim it was some type of discrimination or racism, I and a lot of people were sitting there being like, what did they show the federal judge that gave that warrant to justify not just amount of manpower, but the cost behind it? All this costs money. They don't just have like a little pick a mix where you can be like, yeah, let me get some of those heat-seeking missiles. Let me see this. No, you literally have to get the budget for that. So what did they show to warrant it? And there have been rumors. I do want to say that Diddy maintains innocence. He says ain't none of this true. He is fighting for his country, his heart, his soul. Baby, he gonna see that mountaintop, and we are all gonna be very, very sorry. Now listen, if Diddy beats the case, I will be the first to offer an apology that the feds didn't do a better job pointing at him, because I believe all these accusations. Y'all already know, okay? But we need to know that this, of course, is based upon my information and belief, law, legal briefings, law articles, speculation, what the streets are saying, and baby, just using a little bit of common sense. Don't believe me. Do your own research and then come back to the comments and tell me respectfully what you think is going on. Okay, so let me jump back. Hey. They're saying that one of the reasons they use such manpower is because it has long been rumored that Diddy works with the cartel, the mafia, the Japanese yakuza, various criminal organizations from countries outside of America. Some people say Mexico, some people say Japan, some people say Italy, Germany, their shell companies. I get all that. But the one thing I never put together is why, when Diddy's going down with the ship, are so many of his fools standing by him? And they are saying that the reason they are standing by them is because they are helping, if these laundering things can be believed, they are actually helping Diddy. More specifically, Young Miami, Stevie J helping him. Again, just hear me out. Listen to what the streets are saying, and then let me know if you think it's true. I do want to say this. If this is true, you understand why Stevie J's doing it. It's washed up. He always look coked up. Like, he always look like he on Colombian Dirty Dance. I don't know if he is, but he always looks. He's just a dirtball. He's grimy. He is disgusting, and he's dangerous. Like, there's something wrong with that man. But then we see that there's something wrong with Diddy, I think. So birds of a feather probably flock together. But I kept wondering about Young Miami. Why is she sticking by him? Why is she acting like he a good man, Savannah? Why won't she leave? Now, maybe she addicted to the money. What? Same old Miami Carisha from the block. Same old Carisha, right? Maybe it's the same old Carisha from the block. But I was like, if she's addicted to the money, Diddy is going down. Why wouldn't she abandon him? Because he definitely don't got the same money. Baby, you need to start saving. But you got 11 kids. They need tuition. They need all that. A lot of people said that these businesses that Diddy helped her fund. Remember she was showing receipts for DJ Academic? This how much I'm making a month. And I was like, Carisha is making $12 million a month. So even on a slow month, that means you might be making close to $12 million a year. If you're making that much, why are you playing Russian roulette with your health, messing around with Diddy? They get flying in Gina, playing you here, playing you there. Why are you doing all this if you're making this much a month? And then I read into this and I was like, is that money even all hers? Meaning, even though her name is on the business, it's all the profits that come in. Are they even hers to take? Or is she being compensated for helping being the front of another layered activity for money laundering, along with Stevie J and everybody else? Let's get into this, y'all. Now, first of all, right? When I was wondering about money laundering, I did a little bit of research, right? And one of the things, and this goes into tax evasion, is if he is accused of money laundering, Diddy is looking at several years of jail, because usually whenever there's money laundering, there is tax evasion. Now, I heard a lot of rumors about Miami, Daphne, Jamie, all those people. Better hope that they are actually keeping records of what happens. They better hope they can explain where their income's coming from, and not only that they are paying taxes on every little penny, because that's how they got Al Capone. That's how they took down most of the crime mafia, right? So I was just doing research, like, what would that look like? Blah, 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 right? However, they said that penalties for tax evasion can vary depending on the amount of unpaid taxes and the specific circumstances of the case. In general, penalties for tax evasion can include fines, interest on unpaid taxes, and potentially imprisonment. There was just a man in Mexico, California. This happens all the time with the LA federal things, where they literally sentenced them for 41 months and above in jail for tax evasion and also money laundering, in this case for the Mexican cartel. But there's other different types of cartels. Again, Italy, Japan, I think almost every country has like a little criminal underbelly, okay? In general, the length of imprisonment can range from a few months to several years, especially if the unpaid amount of taxes are substantial. So I started thinking, would these taxes be substantial in the way that, think about it, what Diddy and his cohorts do? Now, I know we all thought he was co-owner of De Leon. He was owned Revolt. The more we dived into these finances, we see that with De Leon, he was nothing but a high-powered influencer, okay? He actually didn't have ownership. He was basically paid to be the face, and he was paid for like the free the marketing he did. That's where his money came from. When we look at Revolt, we see that as much as he wants to be like it was black-owned, a hedge fund and Ron Burkle, billionaire, were the ones that actually put up seed money. Diddy was just the black-owned face. Side note, we still haven't find out who the owner of new owner of Revolt was, okay? They said we're going to find out soon, but I think they're trying to make us think it's still black-owned. It might be, but without Diddy, was it ever really black-owned? Because Diddy looks like he was the face, but he bought in the money from these white hedge funds and the white billionaire, okay? So when you get into that, you're like, wait, nobody wears Sean Jock. Where does Diddy's money actually come from? The part that allows him to live this lavish billionaire lifestyle. Now, I know what y'all saying. Oh, well, he wasn't broke. He wasn't broke, of course. But where is the money come from? Again, we need to ask questions. And that's when I dived a little bit more into the world of money laundering. Specifically, ProPublica has an article about how a Chinese American gangster transformed money laundering for drug cartels, okay? Now, when it actually came to this, right, they said that, again, this happened in 2022 is when they busted this, but this is the part that really applies to Diddy, okay? They said for years, Mexican cartels that supplied the U.S. market with Colombian dancing dust, heroin, basically everything that was alleged to be in Brandon's backpack, right? The little fanny pack Little Rod says he always carries, right? They smuggled truckloads of bulk cash to Mexico, where they used banks and exchange houses to move the money into financial systems. And they also hired middlemen. Diddy is being accused right now of being the middleman, okay? Now, I know what you're saying. How much could the middleman probably be paid? Well, keep in mind that the cartel smuggles hundreds of billions into every country every year, including the U.S. Do you know these millionaires, these middlemen who are often Colombian or Lebanese specialists, but they can be American, charged, right, 18 cents on the dollar to launder billions. So let's just say if these reports are true, and Diddy actually is laundering money. I know what you're saying. How does Stevie J and Young Miami play into this? Let me cook. I'm getting there. And I will be live later, okay? Because we got to talk about this Jonathan Odie stuff. Think about it. You launder hundreds of billions in 18 cents on the dollar. That's 20%. Imagine for every $100 you can clean, wash, and flip, you get 20 cents. So that means that it's 100 million. You're looking at 20 million for every dollar. You're looking at 20 million for every 100 million you bring in. You bring in 300 million, you're now looking at 60 million. You bring in 100, you bring in a billion, you're looking at what? 100 million. But here's the thing with money laundering, why it's so hard to do. Because you need shell companies. You need empty corporations. You need businesses that look good on paper, but really aren't bringing in them any money. But not only that, if the IRS was to look closer, they don't really know how to keep track of that. So it'll be easy to consume, easy to hide. Now, if Diddy, if the rumors can be true, believe true, are involved with it, you guys think about it. If you do a Google search, it's long been known that the music industry is a perfect way to launder money, okay? But not only that, online retail. Ask yourself, in the last couple of years, who's gotten into the online retail game? Who was bragging online about they making $1 million a month at least? Who is acting like she broke and the rent is due, literally running up against this old man who literally at one point was literally letting her know she ain't breaking, she better get in line, having babies, embarrassing her while she's jumping up and down, holding a gold poppy sign. Gold poppy sign. Who indeed? Think about it. Stevie J, in my opinion, is a washed-up producer. What's he been on lately? And what's he been on? Where does his lifestyle come from? Diddy don't pay anybody. Everybody know that. Well, this is what's been rumored, even back to Bad Boy days. He is notoriously stingy. He's notoriously steep. Artists are like, we didn't get our royalties. We didn't get our money. Diddy got all the money. But what if the royalties and all this stuff, like I said before, were never really there? And what if all these things like Carisha Roulette, Carisha's pajamas, Real Bad, Act Bad, whatever they're selling? Because think about it. Do you know anybody that got a pair of Carisha pajamas? I'm being serious. If you do, let me know in the comments, right? Do you know anybody that really bought Carisha Roulette or played it? Let me know in the comments. Do you know anybody that's doing anything about Young Miami's business ventures? Again, if the burner account that JT leaked of Young Miami's actually is her burner account, it looks like she's still chilling, happy with Diddy. Now, why would she be doing this? If this is true, she's an idiot, because why? You letting a man use you for a front to launder money? Baby, you could have just been the middleman. But think about it. I did a little bit more research, and we got to talk about this, right? In the music industry, how does it work? Think about it. Cash payments for gigs and performances. Now, Young Miami hasn't been really performing, neither has Diddy. So maybe we can flip through that, right? But Christian Combs has been performing, okay? Royalty manipulation. Manipulating royalty payments and licensing agreements to transfer illicit funds under the guise of legitimate music sales and publishing rights. Again, you know, everybody on Bad Boy was like, he's stealing the money. He living loud. What if Bad Boy, as much as it was successful, was nothing but a very complex manipulation scheme to actually launder funds? Because this happens a lot with artists with touring. What if Diddy's Love album wasn't just for his comeback, but it was to launch so he could even launder more money? Royalty manipulation. Again, we think that he scammed out Bad Boy, but maybe there was never that much around. Maybe they were manipulating it to wash money, and the money was going to Diddy, his mama, and Justin. Everybody always thought it was odd that Diddy had everything in his mama's name and Justin's name, because at the end of the day, it's all Bad Boy. So if I sue Diddy and I sue Bad Boy, it don't matter whether it's in his mama or Justin, it's all the same income. Record label deals, Lucian Grange, Ethiopia Haberman, that whole Love album thing that they're arguing about right in court. We're a partnership, we're not a partnership, what's going on? Think about it. Record label deals, investing illicit funds into record labels or music production companies where revenue from legitimate music sales can be used to launder money or cover up origins of illicit funds. Concert promotion. Again, Diddy hasn't done any pop concerts, but listen to this, right? But merchandise sales, which brings up music streaming services and investments in music ventures, which brings us to Young Miami. Over-invoicing and under-invoicing. Again, the Carisha police, it's perfect. Think about it. What they do overseas is they take that money and they put it in overseas bank accounts. If you put up Carisha roulette, a Carisha or Act Bat merchandise or any of that stuff, right? The IRS isn't going to be like, oh, did the same account pay 30 times for this one item? They just want to know, so these are all your sales accounted for, and all your sales is this much income. Okay, that money is officially laundered. Listen, inflating or deflating the price of goods sold to create artificial profits or losses, allowing for the integration of illicit funds into illegitimate business revenue. Did not when all this mess went down with Diddy, they immediately put everything on Carisha Please for 90% off? Cash transactions. Well, I don't think they made any cash transactions. Shell companies, as was brought up in Little Rod's complaint. Setting up fake companies or using existing ones to generate fake invoices for goods and services that were never provided, effectively creating a paper trail for the movement of illicit funds. Bulk cash deposits. I don't know if there was cash deposits. Layering through online sales. Clarissa, we looking at you. Conducting numerous online sales transactions with multiple customers, using various payment methods, and shipping goods to different addresses to obscure the trail of illicit funds. Does it not sound like what was going on with Act That, Carisha Roulette, and all that stuff? I'm being serious. What if Young Miami is the biggest dummy for Diddy? And even though he was upgrading her, putting her on yachts, he was using all these companies that he created, he owned, but Young Miami is the face of it or whatnot to actually move money. Say what you want, 12 million a year is a lot, but what if she wasn't getting 12 million a year? What if they were doing 35 million a year in sales? Diddy was getting 20% of that and giving Miami just penny. And also trade-based money laundering. In the case of online retailers, manipulating shipping invoice or customs declarations to misrepresent the value or nature of goods being imported or exported. You guys, I'm going to go live to talk about this a little bit more, but woo! And what the streets are saying is true, baby. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all later on the live. Talk to y'all later. Bye.